Stay tuned. Coming up on this episode, I discuss why radio communications is a critical component of situational awareness and some of the challenges that are created when there's a lack of radio discipline.
Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 272 of the Situational Awareness Matters show. I'm your host, Rich Gassaway. The purpose of this program is to help improve situational awareness and high-risk decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-stress, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SAMatters mission is simple. We want to help you see the bad things coming and time to avoid bad outcomes. I'm coming to you today from my office in St. Paul, Minnesota. By the time this episode airs, I will be in Fort McMurray, Alberta, delivering situational awareness programs for the process operators at Syncrude Canada Oil Refinery. Today's feature segment is brought to you by SimsUShare. SimsUShare is a simple and affordable way to help you develop and practice situational awareness skills. You can quickly build sims from your photos to simulate almost any kind of incident, including active threat scenarios. And the new SimsUShare Command Training Center now lets you conduct multi-company drills over the internet, so you can run drills while your companies stay in station. Check them out at SimsUShare.com. Okay, let's jump into our feature segment where I discuss why radio communications is a critical component of situational awareness and some of the challenges that can be created when there is a lack of radio discipline. A frequent contributing factor to first responder casualty incidents is too much radio traffic. This can have a significant impact on responder situational awareness because it becomes near impossible to take in, process, comprehend, and remember the volume of information being transmitted over the radio when communications is not disciplined. This episode explores some of the causes of the problem and makes some recommendations for improving radio discipline. On numerous occasions, I've had conversations with fireground commanders who said they regret issuing radios to every member. They said the concept was good, giving everyone a radio in case they get into trouble, they can call for assistance. However, the strategy backfires when everyone who has a radio feels compelled to talk on it. It's tantamount to a person thinking that because they're carrying an axe, they have to chop something. A radio is a tool that can be used specifically for an intended purpose. Unfortunately, most fire departments do not train firefighters on how and when to use a radio. It should not be assumed that a firefighter will automatically know how and when to talk on a radio. To assume so is to make a great leap of faith that will undoubtedly come back and bite the assumer in the behind. Talking on the radio is not an intuitive task. Knowing what to say, how to say it, when to say it, are all skills that must be taught. Having listened to numerous audio recordings of incidents where firefighters were injured or killed, it is painfully evident this is still not being taught. And if it has been, the instructions were poor or the radio user had fallen out of practice to what is considered best practices. Radio transmissions can provide critical clues and cues that when transmitted properly and timely can be a tremendous asset in the development and maintenance of situational awareness. Those demonstrating best practices in radio usage know what to say, how to say it, who to say it to, and when to say it. And perhaps equally important, they know what not to say, how not to say it, who not to say it to, and when to stay off the air. I recently had a discussion with some firefighters about their radio discipline. After deciding their incident management is hampered from too much radio traffic, they've embarked on a mission to revamp how they use their radios. They've decided radio transmissions fall into 3 categories: urgent, necessary, and unnecessary. For urgent messages, the transmission will start with the word urgent, followed by the message. The department is developing a list of examples of urgent messages and training personnel on why those messages would be considered urgent. Necessary radio traffic will not have a preempt word, and the department will provide the members with a definition of necessary radio traffic and some examples. Unnecessary radio traffic will be defined, and a simple list will be provided to members. Unnecessary radio traffic will no longer be transmitted over the radio. Instead, it will be stated face-to-face by mobile data computer or will not be communicated at all. The department is also going to adopt a cadence protocol. Cadence is when the same thing is said on the radio in the same order or sequence every time. For example, when giving a progress report, a crew can use the acronym CAN, or CAN report, which stands for Conditions, Actions, and Needs. Or when calling a Mayday, a department may give a LUNAR report, LUNAR, which stands for Location in the Building, Unit Designation, Names of Personnel Needing Assistance, Air Supply Remaining, and Resource Needs. The department is also going to adopt key phrases to be used to communicate broader concepts. Personnel will be trained on what the key phrases mean, so when communicated, the meaning is shared among the sender and the receivers. The fire department is going to conduct audits of recorded radio transmissions to ensure the new procedures are being followed. As with anything new, this procedure entails a paradigm shift for how the department is using their radios. They should expect to show some steady progress toward changing habits. It's important for the audit to be conducted on both significant alarms and non-significant alarms. The habits developed during the many non-significant alarms will become the automatic performance during the significant alarms. Ensuring the new procedures are being used consistently across the board is important. Radio communications is critical to the success of an incident and is vital to developing and maintaining situational awareness. Disciplined communications reduces the possibility of radio channel overload, and it reduces the possibility of cognitive overload by those who are listening to the radio. Reducing the amount of unnecessary radio traffic will also reduce the possibility of personnel operating at a scene, including the commander, from tuning out the radio because of the volume of chatter that is impacting the ability to comprehend other things that are happening around them. The brain has only a limited capacity to process information, and under stress, it's not that hard to overload the brain. Reducing radio traffic to urgent and necessary messages only is a best practice that will improve responder safety. Here's some discussion questions. Develop a definition and create a list of urgent and necessary and unnecessary radio transmissions. Obtain an audio tape from one of your department's recent significant events. Categorize the radio transmissions as urgent, necessary, and unnecessary. Record the percentage of airtime from the incident dedicated to each. Discuss strategies for how to eliminate unnecessary radio transmissions. If you've been listening to the episodes over the past couple of months, you've heard me mention that we're having a 5th anniversary giveaway to celebrate. Well, little did I know there are rules and laws that need to be followed when you're doing a giveaway. And can't just give stuff away. In fact, can't even call it a giveaway because that's not a legal term. You have to call it a sweepstakes. So we're going to have a sweepstakes. And I'm learning a lot about how to have a sweepstakes, including the rules and the disclosures that we need to have if we want to do it legally. And of course, we want to do it legally, which unfortunately means there's going to be a delay. So it's going to be sometime later this year after I get it all done, all the rules established, and all the other crap I would have rather have avoided. But I can't avoid it. So stay tuned. The good news is the prize package keeps growing and is now worth over $2,000 for the sweepstakes. The Situational Awareness Matters show was launched in 2014 with a purpose to give a platform to those who've had near-miss events to share their stories. When I'm on the road delivering situational awareness programs, I often ask attendees about their near-miss events that they've had, and they have shared some amazing stories. Those stories motivated me to launch this podcast in the first place, so those lessons could be shared with the bigger audience, you. The Situational Awareness Matters show, podcasted as SAMatters Radio, and our companion video program, SAMatters TV, on YouTube, along with other videos and audios, have enjoyed more than 800,000 downloads. I'm so thankful for their support, and I feel so honored to be able to provide this platform for these amazing stories to be shared. If you like the show, please do me a solid favor. Subscribe. For the audio version of the show, it's SAMatters Radio on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and iHeartRadio. For the video version, subscribe to SAMatters TV on YouTube. And if you find the show is valuable for you, I really would appreciate it if you would give the show a rating and write a review. Your ratings and reviews help others to find the show, and more importantly, your feedback inspires me to work harder for you.
I think Rich's ability to connect with any crowd, that's a gift that he has, and it's easily transferable.
This is the second or third time that I've heard him speak. There's some teeth to the information that he brings.
It's been really good. Good mixes. He knows when to throw in a joke here and there to get you back involved.
Some tools. I'm a new lieutenant, so very, very interesting. And some of these things I can take back to the station and use with some of the new firefighters I have on my crew.
Something to get you thinking about your job more, big picture type stuff. I've seen him before. A good review for sure.
I have heard him before, yes. After he speaks, there's usually an enlightenment because now they're more aware of what's going on around them and what they're experiencing as they respond to calls.
He's very, very knowledgeable. I'm enjoying it so far.
And that intuition, that's a big one. The video that you just showed up here, we're getting a lot out of this. I think this is a really good seminar, especially for new people and old. But I think it's very informative. This talk gives us more ammunition to do all three.
They're relatable to what we have experienced or very well could experience, so he makes it easy to let the knowledge sink in.
I mean, it's awesome. A lot of stories you can usually relate to yourself and calls you have been on, aha moment. Like, he just helps you focus on picking out the right things. It's awesome. It's a refresher and keeps my eyes open. It's good stuff.
If people listen to the message that he has, it's an incredible message delivered by a very compassionate person. Strategy and tactics are going to always change. Situational awareness it doesn't change. It's always there.
He's got some good stories to tell, and he's very thorough with his stories, and it's interesting listening to him.
Very clear speaker, and he talks on our level because he's been there, he's been in the trenches. I think he's doing well, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
Since 2007, Situational Awareness Matters instructors have helped more than 1,300 organizations and have trained over 80,000 individuals to improve high-risk decision-making, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, highway workers, public transportation operators, aviation workers, oil refinery process operators, and more. If you or someone you know works in a high-risk, high-consequence decision-making environment, then we're here to help improve your safety and your survival, and to help you accomplish the most important goal of all, and that is to go home to the ones who love you. I'd like to take a moment to honor and thank the companies, organizations, agencies, and departments that have hosted recent Situational Awareness Matters training for their members. The Maryland Fire Chiefs Association, the Flight Bridge ED Fast 19 Conference, the Buckley Fire Department, the Washington State Fire Chiefs Association, the Safety Institute Conference, and where I'm at now, the Syncrude Canada Oil Refinery in Fort McMurray, Alberta. On June 15th, I will be at the National Volunteer Fire Council Summit in Portland, Oregon. On June 17th, I'll be at the National Fire Protection Association Conference in San Antonio, Texas. On June 18th, I will be at the Itasca County Emergency Communications Center doing a program for telecommunications professionals in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. On June 24 and 25, I will be at the Odessa Fire Department in Odessa, Texas. On July 11 and 12, I will be doing consulting for an industrial facility in Wisconsin. On July 15 and 16, I will be at the Southeast Texas Regional Advisory Council EMS Committee Training Seminars in Houston, Texas. July 24 and 25, I'll be at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado. July 26th, I'll be at the North Metro Fire District in Broomfield, Colorado. And July 31, I will be at the Evans Fire Department in Evans, Colorado. If you want to see the locations of all the upcoming events, just head over to the SAMatters.com website, and the schedule is under the Training Programs tab at the top of the homepage. If you're interested in hosting a program, just click on the Contact Us tab on the top of the homepage, and I will give you a call. If you want to become part of the SA Matters community of learners, there's several ways you can do that. Check the show notes for how to get connected with us by signing up for our monthly newsletter, by subscribing to the SA Matters radio podcast, by subscribing to the SA Matters TV YouTube channel, and how to follow us on the social media channels of Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. There we share ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, and how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Well, that's it. Episode 272 of the Situational Awareness Matters show is complete. Thank you to our platinum sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to our feature segment sponsor, SimsUShare. Thank you to our associate sponsor, Chief Miller. Thank you to all the companies, agencies, organizations, and associations that have hosted Situational Awareness Matters training programs. Thank you to all the organizations that have hosted the live stream training, where I come to your organization live via the internet to train your personnel. Thank you to more than 3,000 students and graduates of the highly acclaimed Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy. The feedback I've received from Academy graduates is just amazing and very humbling. Thank you for that. And most importantly, thank you, the listeners and viewers of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gassaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit SAMatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gassaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgassaway.com.